see the interior is pretty nice. And there you go. Today we're with the Kia Stinger. This is a 2020 Kia Stinger GT2 all-wheel drive V6 twin turbo 3.3 liter. Has about 370 horsepower. The torque is kind of close around that too. These are all the standard options here. 8-speed automatic with paddle shifters, dynamic torque vectoring, all-wheel drive, eco, smart, comfort, sport, custom, Brembo brakes, 4-piston in the front, 2 in the back, electric parking brake, launch control, blind spot collision, and plenty of other technology such as smart cruise control, lane keeping assist. Front, dual front airbags, seat mounted side curtain airbags, tons of extra options in here. So this is a Korean originated vehicle. These are made in Korea, as you can see. Origin, Sohari, Korea. So 20-inch wheels. Here are the Brembo brake calipers right there. We're gonna do a walk around right quick. That's that. Now, let's take a quick look at the engine bay. You can see the interior is pretty nice. I thought it was the GT2 package, but it's actually the GT1. This is probably the nicest Kia, well, the second nicest Kia that's available to the public. You see it has that, you know, reminding you that it's turbocharged right there with that placard or whatever you want to call it. Not placard, but, you know, big letters, red letters. It's a GDI, and it has, if you look here, these are stability bars, strut bars, right there. If you look at the lights, these are of course LED. Look on each side. So, and they actually swivel, and those are high quality, very high quality. So when you turn, they actually, you know, kind of follow the direction of where you're turning. Very high quality. Take a look at the other one. You can see that right there. So now let's go around and pop the trunk right quick to show you how much cargo room it has. That's the intake right there. It's very well built. It's solid. And the inside is pretty isolated. You can see here. So it's basically like a hatchback. It's a sedan, but it's kind of like a hatch, like you know, Mercedes has the CLS, Porsche has the Panamera. So if you look here, there's, you know, space for up here, and it's roomy in the back as well. And look at that, kind of turns almost into a wagon. So if you see right there, there's tons of space. You can
pops out.
Fit some stuff in there. This pops out. So there's considerable cargo space. You can actually fit something pretty large in here compared to your standard sedan, where the trunk doesn't even go this high. Look, Goes all the way up like that, so you can fit some stuff in here. That's a good utility feature to have. I'm gonna go ahead and let this back down. There's a button for that. There's your backup camera if you look right there. And this kind of functions as a spoiler. It does. It's works as a spoiler. Also, it's dual exhaust, both sides. The polished tips right here. You can see there's a little aerodynamic design into this. Now we're gonna go around this way towards the front again because it has several cameras. So there's an airbag in this seat right here on the side, right where my fingers touching this little black tab. It comes with a hardened Karmon audio system. You can see I have pretty decent space here where my knees are. It's pretty roomy on the inside. Look at the leather. It's perforated leather. You can have a little space here for cup holders. You can control, oh look, there's a USB port. There's also a DC port. You can kind of control a little bit of some of your ventilation settings here. So again, it's a comfortable place to be. Harman card, and you can see right there, has tons of speakers. Tons of speakers. There's a tweeter there, there's a mid, there's tons of speakers. There's two woofers underneath the seats as well. And look, this back even has heated seats. That's what that button's for. I actually almost missed that, but the rear also has heated seats. Are they heated and cooled or just heated?
Just heated in the rear.
So the back seats are heated.
You can kind of see the subwoofer there, but you have one under each.
Here's one of the subwoofers right here, which I've never really seen in cars before. I've never seen that before. That's something that's different. So yeah, those heated seat buttons are actually on the side where the window buttons are, which is something unusual. And another thing that's unique about this car, only a few cars have it, is that the tail light it contours completely across, and back and forth from left to right. So that actually makes everything look a lot nicer. That's nice. So when it lights up, you can see a big bright, red light that flashes. You can see it has aggressive side styling. This is, in fact, a functional air scoop here, in case you all were wondering about that. Now we can go in the front. Take a look. So, now, you can see here, plenty of space in the seats. Here's the GT emblem right here. These are well-appointed seats, perforated leather. Here's some space for your center console devices. 41, it's a little bump up here. So as far as the impressions of the car goes, the steering is tight. It's very tight steering, just like sports cars will be. It's electronically controlled steering. It's very quiet here. I mean, you can feel the bumps. The suspension is firm, but that's because I have it in sport mode. As you can see there, it's a sport sedan, so I want to, experience what it has to offer in sport mode. It's quiet again on the inside, but it's very, very, very easy to control this car. It's comfortable. The seats are comfortable. If I can compare this to a car that wasn't so comfortable, I remember, in a Tesla Model S that I drove, when you sit in that car for a certain amount of time, it's not very comfortable. So this is much more comfortable than that. You can see here that it's well insulated. Everything is well appointed. Tons of safety and smart features. So it's almost impossible to crash this car unless you're driving drunk. I mean, it's, don't drive drunk, people. Make sure you put on your seatbelts. So another thing about this car, like I said before, it blows very, very cool air and very hot air. So you can very quickly fill up the desired temperature that you want in the cabin for this vehicle, which actually is so cool. Now I'm gonna turn it off. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's all here. Okay.
And then if you need to adjust the temperature a little bit.
Okay. So we get up here and make a turn. Yeah. So folks,
like I said, take your time.
Okay. So again, you all in the back seats, I didn't get a chance to ride back there, but just being back there, 6 foot tall adults will fit back there with no problem. I guarantee you that. So if you look here, there's the blind spot detection, which is very, very appreciated, because a lot of people have had, you know, issues where they've had limited visibility, and that light is letting you know a car is approaching, a vehicle's approaching. Don't, you know, make any sudden moves. That is something that is it's worth having in a car, especially if it's a car where you have limited visibility. As you can see, that orange, well, yellowish orange light flashes, so that's good. I'm gonna give it a little bit of gas, just a little bit. Now, what I'm impressed about from the response of this vehicle is that the setting that he was talking about, whatever that setting is that allows you to hear the exhaust, it sounds good. It really does, especially inside the vehicle. You can hear it. It's appreciated. So even with the windows, you know, up, you can still hear the engine.
Yeah, what's nice is when you give it gas, it doesn't let up. You know, it just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. You know, you get the full power all the way up to 9,000 RPMs.
Oh, wow, really?
And all you feel is you're back in the seat.
Wow, okay. I got somebody coming in the way, okay. Let's turn right here. Yeah, folks, so again, this is the car to have if you want something reliable, you want something that has power. Since it has a twin turbo V6, they do offer tunes. This is a 3.3 liter, by the way. They do offer tunes for this if you want more power. Another thing about it is that the gas mileage is going to be pretty good. Another thing about this is that as far as reliability goes, compared to, you know, your German cars and, you know, other stuff, this you take care of the car, it's going to be, you know, it's going to last a long time. And you can feel this steering. It has great steering. Oh, wow, they closed that right there. So I can't go up in that way. So another thing, you guys, all-wheel drive. So the fact that it has all-wheel drive means that in the snow, you can drive it in the snow. You know, you can drive it in the snow. You can drive it in the rain. It grips very well. It has the Brembo brakes, so it's going to stop pretty well. And this is a practical sedan. You can fit tons of stuff in the back, as you saw earlier. Oh, wow.
Still, no, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Still very family, you know, oriented. You know, you can do your daily needs and have an enjoyable vehicle.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. And like I said, a vehicle that you can drive all year round, I think is a good investment compared to, say, you know, a lot of sports vehicles, you can't drive them all year round, you know? You can only drive them half of the year if it's rear wheel drive, you know? You can't really drive them in the snow or in the rain, you know? So why, you know, spend money on two vehicles when you can just spend money on one? So we're gonna give it a little bit of gas. Extremely responsive, extremely responsive, extremely responsive. One thing I will say, a lot of cars with turbochargers, they lag, they sometimes take a few seconds before they respond. This just responds as soon as you tap on the throttle, and that's good. That's very important. A lot of people complain about that with some cars. I experienced the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, this is an older one, a couple months ago. And when I went to drive the vehicle, it lagged really bad. It had a 4.5 liter V8. It lagged. It took like a second and a half before you finally felt the thrust. You know, people don't like that when they have turbo cars. They like responsiveness, just like naturally aspirated vehicles give you. So that's appreciated.
Yeah, usually with the turbo, you hear it go to breathe, and then you get the power. Where here, it's pulling it and pushing it, so you get a very responsive throttle action.
Kia did very well. They did very well. They really did. Because another thing that people, you know, try to talk junk about is, oh, true sports cars, you know, they only have V8 engines. They can't have, you know, 4-cylinder engines and 6-cylinder engines unless, you know, they talk a lot of stuff about smaller engine vehicles. But honestly, you can't complain about this, because like I said, you're getting the performance of a larger engine because of the forced induction, plus you're saving gas, you know, if you're not constantly stepping on it all the time. Here, let me do this to you for a second. So again, I'm gonna do now the paddle shifters. Basically, let me give that a shot, see how they work. So that's 6, that's 5, that's 4, and you can hear the engine. That's 3, This car's paddle shifter system works very, very well. I've been in some cars where the paddle shifters, they don't work very well at all. They don't. It's almost like they're for decoration. I'll use paddle shifters in some cars. I'm not gonna name the cars because, you know, I don't want to embarrass the automakers, but the paddle shifters in some of the cars, they either don't work at all or they have lag, functional lag to them. So you'll tap a paddle shift and like it'll take half a second before the car actually shifts. And these are in brand new cars, so I'm not sure why that happens, but in this car, everything responds pretty well. So that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. We're gonna get off up here, and I'm gonna do one more launch from the first person point of view, but I'm gonna get to a stoplight and use the paddle shifter so you all can see that right quick. But again, very impressive vehicle. There's absolutely nothing I don't like about this vehicle at all. Everything about this vehicle I like. The only concern though is that, you know, you have a small amount of visibility back there, so for those that you know, aren't very experienced with driving, you just have to make sure you adjust your mirrors very, very well so you can see out the back windshield. Now the backup camera does work for backing up, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
and you have the proximity sensor, so when you get close to something, it'll beep 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 beep.
Both front and back?
Front, back, yes.
Okay, that's good.
That they're willing to work with you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Like I said, that engine just doesn't want to give up.
I see. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You all like, share, subscribe. Again, this is the dealership right here. Classic Kia. Right here off of Green Bay Road in Waukegan, Illinois. This vehicle is for sale. And you all can check out this vehicle.